Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. So I judge people according to the content of their character, and I consider what group they're yoked to. So as we look at Luke 16, we see that no one can serve two masters. You can't serve God and money. If you're in a gang or a corporation or a church or a military and they want you to cheat me out of my right to lead, they want you to do something wrong, they want you to sell out for money, and money has everything to do with survival, but it also has to do with greed. If they want you to portray God just to survive, you shouldn't do it. No matter what that translates to, you shouldn't betray God. So we see that in Luke 16, when Christ as a character in the story is saying something to this effect, basically exactly this, in a way that, according to the story, is a little bit more vague. We see that the Pharisees sneer at him. They sneer at him. Now, does he just turn the other cheek and walk away and say, hey, I'm not going to argue with you? No. We see this time and time again, right? In Luke, it says, I did not come to bring peace. I came to bring a fire. In Matthew, I came to bring a sword. In Luke, when he says, I came to bring a fire, he goes one step further and says, how I wish it was already kindled. That's how I feel about it. How I wish all sinners were already burning in hell. But life is a test. And they're going to get there. If you obey God through me in time, which, I'm cynical about things, But if you do, I'll get there with you. So they had the nerve to sneer at him. And he said, you are the ones who try to justify yourselves in the eyes of others. In the eyes of others and not in the eyes of God. You are the ones. Not me. Not Chukwuemeka, the one many call Yeshua, the many call Jesus. And I'm not like those false images that you see out there in the parades and in the churches. I'm me, not that. And they try to confuse you. No miracles are needed, other than the miracle of God making me the top martial artist ever possible, which also comes with the circumstances that allow for it. All the stages of evolution that had to take place for us to get here. What is acceptable or ideal in the eyes of people who don't give me my right to lead, mere human beings, if that, mere beasts, is detestable in the eyes of God. Who could doubt this? You think looking up to a president or some rich person or some sports player, entertainer, is magically respectable to God? It is stupid. And magic arts are stupid. God is wise. God is great. God has triumphed me over everyone else, and I'm the one person doing God's work. The top martial artist on this planet. The top martial artist ever possible. Just so happens to be the one person really doing God's work on this planet. Now, some people, are working harder than others, trying to do the right thing. But I'm the one person who's doing God's work on this planet, clear cut. It's even called clear cut. It strikes you, it's true. It strikes you, it's true. The sword of Scripture, to spear some spirit. You've got to be worthy and you've got to be trustworthy. So these people in the military who are being coerced by the government, by these cults in the military, it's very disgraceful. Now, I'm not the biggest patriot that ever lived or something. I use the example of this parking lot I'm in right now. Should I be grateful that it's not made out of dust? I'm grateful to God, but not to human beings. The least you can do is pave this, right? In this corrupt country. And so I have a certain expectation for America. The least they can do is actually enforce the law, actually enforce the Constitution, actually compensate Jesus and give him his rights. And actually set apart money to compensate the countless victims here who are abused by the system. To pass my war on poverty plan my global farming plan, my region argument for immigrants, oversight plan for healthcare. These things should already be being done. When they're done, I shouldn't have to thank anybody if they ever get done, that is. Every time a female doesn't get raped or sexually harassed or assaulted in the military, should I be thankful, or should that automatically be the case? I'm thanking God. The fact that they said in a video I just saw that's 8 days old that 56% of women of color in the military experience some form of sexual assault. What the hell do you call that? What are your parents teaching you? What are your teachers at school? What are the churches teaching you? What is the military teaching? What is the government teaching you? What the hell's going on here? Don't you have sisters and mothers and wives? Why do you people let this stand? What on earth could be worth doing that for? And as we look at the timeline the last 15 years, last 20 years, has America been raised to the heavens? What fruit are you bearing? What could you possibly think justifies sin? Much less sexual immorality. When I was younger, my mom used to watch a show called I forgot what it's called, but they said that it was about sex crimes, like the Special Victims Unit of something or other. And they said that sexual crimes are particularly heinous in nature. Who would have thought, right? And so there's these monsters everywhere raping and killing people, people trafficking people, the Epstein stuff, this Epstein fiasco. You have Donald Trump pretending it's not a big deal, and I'm not a political person. But it's outrageous the way things work here. You better believe souls cook on the issue of sexual morality. It is infuriating that people won't address the root causes of sexual immorality. You put your races and your cultures and your traditions over everyone, including people of your own race. 200,000 plus white Americans die in this country of cigarette smoking every year. Was that part of white power? Thousands and thousands of Jews as well. Is that part of Jewish power? Thousands of LGBT people. Is that part of LGBT power to you? $400,000 Americans is what it means to be a patriot, to play stupid about that? And the root causes of 60,000 people dying from a lack of adequate access to health care? Again, I'm not political. They try to change my voice. Okay, focus on what I'm saying and not how I'm saying, because they try to make it sound theatrical, propaganda-like, or corny. If you think that the top martial artist ever possible, in the core of his soul, is playing around or playing a fucking game, then you're a fucking idiot. The Lion of Judah, the Falcon top martial artist, symbolized by the sun. If you think I'm going to let this slide in the afterlife, you're insane. This video is not a threat to your flesh. That's beneath me. That's peanuts. You should fear your disgrace more than you fear people harming your flesh. How much more should you fear God, who will cook you forever on these issues? And there's children being raped. This place is a much sicker place than you people are making it seem. In a sense, the way you're making it seem in that sense. Children are raped all the time in this country. People are fucking coerced. They are fucking terrorized. When I see these cases, Marissa DiNapoli, Sedera from Chicago, these cases in the news, this person in at the site of the Hawkins Laboratory, and the Netflix series, They Fell from the Roof. These people, Amari and these other people over there in Stockton. as I see you massacre them with your indifference, your greed, your ruthlessness. I'm not a man of empty words. My intention with God inside of me, an essential ingredient, made me the top martial artist ever possible. There isn't a person that ever lived that can say that they're more of a man of action than I am. I have all the greatest minds in this country, except for mine, and this planet, afraid to debate me. They're afraid of the people who are afraid of me, and they're afraid to debate me, even if they wouldn't be punished for doing so. Because I'm the smartest person that ever lived. The wisest, the most insightful, the most sense. Am I perfect? No. Is my soul perfect? Yes. Is God perfect? Yes. So to just discard what I'm saying makes somebody a fucking idiot. I want major reform in this country. I want everyone fed and housed. And those of you who want to go to heaven, you got to stop reproducing. You got to accept your family's part in this, your part in this failed planet. This rape cult, defiled planet. Why do you think it's good enough for your offspring? Generations of sick fucks raping people as part of a sick contrast game. So while the elite are coercing people, they can point to poor people, especially people of color, people who are different than they are, and say, well, the problem is them. Why they're coercing people in the next week like it's a fucking slave auction or something, like when the slaves first come into port and they're choosing what they think are the best ones. That's how the elite operate. It's very sick. And I was denied true love while you're raping and killing these people? I've been single for like 8 years. I'm 44 and I'm not married. If you think that I don't take sexual immorality seriously, you are fucking insane. You know what the main reason I'm being shunned is? That people with complexes don't want to address those complexes, and one of the main complexes they have has to do with coercing women and children. And there's gay agendas and other things as well. So obviously, I'm a man of truth. Obviously, I'm honest with myself. You don't become the top martial artist ever possible by lying to yourself. I'm honest about my limitations. I'm honest about everything that matters most. And I try my best to be honest about everything. Very insignificant minor mistakes in my videos over the years. Very insignificant. 16 years of making videos. 16,000 plus videos. In fact, it's been 16 years and like 3 months. September, October, November, December. Yeah, 16 years and like 4 months of making videos. The people who think that if they kill people who seem like they have a certain glow in their eye like I do, or that maybe they have the same skin color, or maybe they're the type of white person who would agree with me, or the type of Jew, or maybe they're an LGBT person trying to reason with them. The people who think that they can kill these people and win something against me, see the parable of the abrupt ending. See the videos about the Clash. See my playlist about the Clash. You cannot beat me. And you look very fucking stupid for abusing people. Do you think Epstein looked good? Do you think people should want to have been like him? He was a very sick, very deranged, very demented person. And anyone who joined him in those activities was a sick fuck too. Like it or not, I have a divine right to say this that transcends all human documents ever. And I also have a constitutional right to say this. And I'm not going to let anyone turn me around. When the end comes, it's because God wanted it. Because my work is done. This story does not end with them just screening me out and giggling. It ends with souls cooking. And on the way there, they know that the smartest person that ever lived said that. Who are you going to listen to? Me or some child molester? And their despicable allies. Who's right? What choice should you make? What is sound judgment? What is sound discretion? What is wisdom? Your shameless prostitution has rebuked you. Your backsliding has rebuked you. And there is an abundance of fire and wood in the spiritual realm all around your souls. And the breath of the Lord, like a stream of burning sulfur, sets it ablaze. Now everyone sinks lower, including people trying to put words in my mouth because I'm not saying this as well as I otherwise would because of interference. But if you don't know that every day somewhere around 189,000 people die and go to hell, where have you been? I made this video a lot longer than I wanted to, so I'm going to have to wrap this up. But right now I have a certain feeling around my heart, a certain feeling in my stomach, a little minor headache. I'm cynical. Do I think these people are going to hear me and then just stop? No. I think that in the spiritual realm, one day I'm going to be at God's right hand. I'm going to grab them by their fucking neck, their soul's neck, if you will, and I'm going to bash their head with a fucking hammer. In the spiritual realm. I'm not a violent person when it comes to, I don't go around beating people up or something. I have no violent criminal history. I'm 44 years old. No criminal record. I live in California, not in some remote place or something. But I'm going to make these people feel extreme pain forever. When it comes to wicked people, sometimes they think they're tough. They're not tougher than God. They're not tougher than top martial artists. You could be 7 feet tall, 400 pounds on muscle. But when I'm in your face in the spiritual realm, you're less than a little pink mouse. And I'm going to cook that fucking soul. I'm going to get mine. And I'm not talking about money. I'm not talking about the flesh on a woman. I'm talking about cooking your fucking soul. Now you might think, hey, I'm not scared. If you're so not scared, then ask yourself this. Would you see me chest to fucking chest? Knife to knife? Now what is the source of that? What is the source of the reason I would win? It's God Almighty. And I'm going to cook your fucking souls. Because you don't take God seriously. Because you don't take sexual immorality fucking seriously.